What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Double Thought Show. Hope everyone's doing well. First and foremost, we want to thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Rate the show by pressing the like button. Engage with us because we got some pretty interesting topics to discuss today. A couple of crazy stories. And of course,
Crazy.
don't forget to share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. We've split the channel, so if you want to check out our sports related commentary on trending topics, go check out our sports channel. It's X Game Plan on YouTube. With that being said, KR,
Let the
let's
bang begin.
start. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey man, they say in life you need to watch what you
Humble
say.
yourself.
You need to be humble.
Mm.
Always remember that you today is someone else, tomorrow might be you. That can
Yeah.
be either positive or negative, right?
Yep.
There's a YouTuber, very, well, I would say popular YouTuber. He is a comedian, goes by the name of KevOnStage. He has a channel and he has put out a pretty interesting video. We're going to talk about the video in a bit because the video tackles a couple of topics. It tackles YouTube creation, YouTube creatives. It talks about generating money, so monetization on YouTube and various platforms. It also
Running a
has
business.
business elements to it. That's what we are usually interested in, and it also has some elements of begging. But before we go and talk about that,
I think
before
that's the biggest part. Right?
before we talk about before you check the video out, this person is a very funny person. I have no problem against him, but apparently I didn't know this when uh, I would say a legendary YouTuber by the name of Kevin Samuels passed away. I believe he passed away on my birthday.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Let me check.
I think
No,
so.
no. Well, that's a bit of personal information. Let's not. Well, you disclosed it already. Might as well.
Mm, no, I
Let me.
believe so. I'm not sure. I think
Not
so.
sure. Okay, let's
But
continue.
but in any case, what's
I
important
don't
is
know what
what's
your horoscope is. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm a Pisces. So what
Oh, it's 2 minutes in. Jeez.
yeah, what is anyway, I didn't hear you. But anyway, so the very interesting thing about is that when he passed away, he was allegedly talking crazy about Kevin Samuels. Um he didn't go as far, I believe, as what's the plastic girl's name?
I know it.
Uh,
I'm not gonna say it.
Vivica Fox. I'm gonna say it. That's less.
Trying
She
to get
didn't go as far as Vivica saying that it's karma, but because if
a
it's
lot of
karma,
people went crazy. A
yeah, a
lot
lot of
of
people
people.
agree. Yeah,
So I
but
don't know what that genre of videos is called, but it's like the reverse red pill, right? Like the female version of it. These people were going crazy when he
yeah.
passed away.
Well, it's not surprising because Kevin was a very polarizing person and a content creator.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, to jump on people's grave, but you always need to watch out. Just like when Will slapped Chris. Tiffany Haddish was the first one who said, "Those are my friends. Those are my friends." Yeah, I saw a man defend his woman, and shortly after, Tiffany got, as the Usher song goes, caught up in some very questionable things. So it just tells you to yeah. So it's just you don't wish bad upon nobody.
Yeah.
But just remember, today is someone else, tomorrow might be you. So always stay humble. And none of us are exempted. We can all uh, be subject to positive growth, but also negative backlash. Just ask Keith Lee.
Who was
But with
right,
that being said, that was something discussed in the previous show. KR,
well,
any
and
things
also
you
today.
wanna? What
But
did you say?
and also today. But okay, let's continue. I think we should talk about Italy later on.
Yeah, let's talk about him afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. But what are we going to watch the begging now, or the business lesson? Let's call it the business lesson.
Oh, you were saying bagging all this time. I thought you were saying banging. That's why I was like, pause, man. What are you talking about? But okay, continue.
Clean out your ears, man.
Uh,
Let's start begging for that.
yeah, it's like an old
Real quick,
video. You remember when we used to take out the video and then anyway, let's continue.
Fair use, fair use. Kevin might not like our comments on this one, but fair use.
I realized I said this in at length on Patreon, but I didn't address it in the public. So as you've noticed, I've been promoting Patreon more and more, especially the last week or so. And I never really said why. So I'll just be upfront with you like I was with the Patreon yesterday. Podcast revenue has been down around 70% for me in all my podcasts. Josh, Angel, and Greg salaries are dependent on podcast revenue. And it used to be tremendously lucrative and I was able to pay them and all that type of stuff, but it's downturned tremendously. So instead of having to lay them off or reduce their salaries, I decided to give the Patreon audience and you an opportunity to help basically save their jobs. I'm not even, to put it plainly, in order to help keep them on payroll, I'm going to offer more stuff on Patreon, more shows, more.
Fair use.
Yes, is that all you want to show, or
And we can start, but we gotta cut it up. We cannot show the whole.
no? I understand. I understand.
Maybe I'm
But
gonna show a little bit more after this.
okay, so I'm asking because just so I know what to say, because there's things that I can say, but I don't want to say something and then if and maybe you wanted to show it. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, no, I have nothing planned,
Okay,
but I
well
can show
let
you.
okay, well I think the begging was is clear. It only gets worse from there. Now, what he was saying, what Kev was saying was that the as he was explaining, he had a podcast that was on YouTube. And
Yeah,
then he has a Patreon. And he apparently also has an app. So he has other platforms.
yeah, yes, yeah. And he has merchandise as well,
And he has merch.
and he
But
does stand up. But
yeah,
okay,
but the people, but I'm talking about the names he just mentioned.
hmm
Those people work on the podcast,
hmm
which is uh so not the Patreon and the other things,
yeah,
right?
yep.
So he's saying that he's asking people to help him pay those people, those the four people that work on the podcast, so they don't lose their jobs.
hmm
In the same breath, he says, "I'm gonna be offering more things on Patreon, and oh by the way, they don't." That's what he says later on. They don't work on the Patreon. They don't generate their money on Patreon, nor the platform, nor any other thing. Only the podcast. Now I have a question, Kier.
Is it a business question
It is.
or is it hypothetical?
It's a hypothetical business
Okay,
question.
okay.
You're an employee at a company,
hmm
and your job is to
Clean floor.
file, file
Okay, okay.
documents that come in,
hmm
right? And you always have piles of documents. And then you have like a big storage place where all the files are stored. And then your employer tells you, from now on, we're going to save the trees. We're not going to correspond via letters anymore, physical letters. We're just going to correspond via email.
Mm.
So
Who's
that
sending the
means
emails?
not the one that's filing them.
Oh, I'm screwed.
Now, That's your first thought, right? You're screwed, and your employer says, "No, KR, it's okay. You're not screwed. There's still things for you to do.
Mm.
We have this whole archive that we still need to file to digitize.
Mm.
So there's still a job. There's still a job for you. You have We've estimated that in 2 months everything can be digitized.
Mm.
What's your conclusion, KR?
My conclusion is it's the end of the road, and I can't let go.
It's over.
It's over.
Now, can you imagine the employer after you finished filing or digitizing all the documents, shredding all the physical documents so you have digital copies of everything, telling you, yo, KR, I'm going to help you because there's nothing more for you to do. And then turns around, sits in front of his laptop or PC, goes live, and starts begging people to donate basically money because you're not paying, because when you pay for something, you get something in return. But
Well,
basically, donate so these people stay in, remain with a job. Because remember what he said, I'm going to be offering more on Patreon.
yes, to basically
So
to
the
compensate.
yeah. So no, not to compensate. He's taking away that's how I interpreted it. I interpreted it as he's taking away more content and put it on the Patreon. So you need to pay for the content.
Well, you can look at it that way. But if you're begging, you can look at it as well to do.
That's the way I interpreted it. And
Uh,
if that and he also says in the video that content creation itself, so let's say probably YouTube,
it's paying less.
is
That
paying
I see
less. So
where you
if
guys
you
are go from.
if you have a that's what Kev said. So if you have one so at the one hand he's saying this is a dying business model, and on the other hand he's saying, and he knows well, it can estimate if all my subscriptions are start at an X amount, and I have 3 tiers, and da, 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 and I need a couple of people so I can, so it's more predictable income on the Patreon.
That
Then
is true.
it's a dying business model
Or at least for him.
for the four guys. Not, I mean, he's balling and he has a pretty
For his
successful.
business. Let's
He's
put it this way. Let's separate him from the business. He's
yeah.
the face of the business, but for the business he's running might be the end. I I don't know if I the way I maybe we need to repeat it again, but how I interpreted it is that he was saying, because you guys are gonna pay more, I'm gonna put more content on there to compensate the increase you guys are going to do. In addition, I'm gonna move the money to pay a failing business, which is
No,
never good. That's how I
he's
interpreted it. But maybe
what he says in the video is clearly he separates the podcast from Patreon.
yeah, yes, but he's gonna pay the people with the money he gets extra. That's how I interpret it.
No, no, no. At least the way why would you ask for money? Because he said at one point in this video, and I watched it because it was a short video. He said in this video, and I am paraphrasing, they don't earn anything from the Patreon or the apps or anything. They
Who?
earn it, three or four people he named.
Yes.
They earn it from the podcast, not from Patreon, not from the app, not from. That's he explicitly said it. So it seemed like he separated the two.
Maybe so how I think uh, let me play this. Maybe we should play this again. 'Cause
Yeah.
maybe
Or keep playing it, because we played the first part already.
yeah, we played the first part at 1 minute.
basically save their jobs. I'm not even, to put it, an opportunity to reduce their salaries. I decided to lay them off or reduce their salaries. I decided to give the Patreon audience and use them off, all that type of stuff, but it's downturned tremendously. So instead of having to lay them off or reduce their salaries, I decided to give the Patreon audience and you an opportunity to help basically save their jobs. I'm not even, to put it plainly, in order to help keep them on payroll, I'm going to offer more stuff on Patreon, more shows, more exclusive content, things like that. I asked my Patreon if they could increase their monthly gift by $2 or $3, and I'm asking more people to join so that I can continue to keep these people on payroll and other creators.
Yeah, so how I interpret this, the extra money he generates from this increase of $2 or $3, he will use that to pay the salary of
Yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you keep, yeah,
That's how I interpret it. And
you're
I
right.
don't think that's
You're
a
right.
good I
You're right.
don't think that's a good thing, by the way.
It's not.
Let's go back from the start.
Okay.
He said in the beginning, podcast revenue is down 70%. You know what that tells me?
The value isn't the same as it was.
First of all, yes. Second of all, he probably had only one or two people paying for ads. If 70%, usually if you have 70%, that means that you don't have a lot of advertisers, people advertising through your, because that's the only way you can lose that many simultaneously. In addition, whoever is watching your podcast is not buying anything that's being promoted on your podcast. So you don't, you gotta mute whatever you're playing in the background.
It's what you sent me. Now I know what you're talking about. What you talk, the fight,
Stay
the fight. Yeah,
focused.
yeah.
Focused.
You
So
sent it to me, man. But okay.
yes, but I didn't told you to open it during the show. Come on, dude. I expect you to open it before the show. If you let's include the audience what I sent you.
Okay.
I sent you a video of Zerka, the mighty Zerka getting knocked out in Miami. Anyway, let's continue. So I think it means that either the majority he didn't spread his revenue enough to the point where you have multiple people buying ads or buying slots to run ads.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only way you drop 70% out of nowhere. In addition, people are not actionable. So whoever is supporting or watching your podcast, they don't give a hell about the products that are being promoted. First of all, you got to ask yourself, whatever is being promoted, does it fit your audience? That's that's how you run a business. You try
Yep.
to find out whether there is a click there between what you're promoting and what the audience wants. You don't have the right advertisers on your platform. So you got to find the right advertisers. No, you don't start advertising begging, in a sense, how you want to call it. He turns around, he doesn't adjust the model. He doesn't adjust. Maybe you got to ask yourself, are the people that are watching, are they buying because there is no interest from them, or whether the products that are being promoted are not what they're looking for, or first or second of all, do I need to change my audience?
Yeah.
I mean, the latter is harder because I mean he's doing like 100, 200K, 90, 50K views on his podcast. So he has views.
Yeah.
Only thing is people don't give a hell about whatever you're promoting. So maybe find better advertisers that fit your audience. That means you don't know who your audience is. That's what I'm trying to say.
I understand what you're saying, KR. I'm saying this. If you are on Patreon. I'm gonna re- repeat what I said
Reiterate or
and
repeat it.
reiterate, and that's even after having broken up this. You've lost my attention for a while because I did some research, last minute research, by the way. But anyway,
Hmm.
the if you have Patreon, and Patreon can give you a more consistent income, it makes sense to put more on, let's say, to focus where you have let's say more influence in how many money you get. You're not dependent on, you're less dependent on um ads and those type of things.
Hmm.
So it's the easy way would be to direct more people to Patreon.
Yeah, it is. It's more reoccurring revenue.
Yeah. But the problem with that is, what you said. You're basically feeding a dying business model,
Hmm.
but they still need. You always need the free version, right? So there's always the free version. It's always going to be there, and it still needs to be tight. It still needs to be good. Um, I think that, but let's say the solution is going to cause more problem if you want to upgrade the podcast. Then you would need to put more time and resources into that, not less.
But he's not upgrading the podcast, right?
No,
It's staying the same.
it's dying down.
Well, the revenue is dying.
The revenues die. Yeah,
But
but I'm
because
saying the solution would be to up it. So focus on bettering the podcast.
bettering the advertisers, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Understanding your audience. He doesn't understand his
yeah.
audience.
Well, so when I say the podcast, let me formulate. Let me rephrase what I want to say, because you're right. Every time you're correcting me is annoying because you're saying what I'm trying to say, but I'm not saying it. So it's making you look smart. So let
Hey, two-digit IQ. Two-digit IQ. Beating the lawyer.
so what I'm saying is that he should focus on improving the increasing the revenue on the podcast, not, so that's what I want to say. Not focusing more on Patreon, because
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
I understand now what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
This is all a
Th-
flim flam. That
yeah.
man is increasing the hey, you're
Instead of
very,
asking people to help you, that
what
they should
are you
you
trying
should
to say that he's trying to do a flim flam where he's upping the he's upping the money on the right side, and then later on he's gonna kill the podcast. Well, maybe I shouldn't use that word, but
yeah, you can, yeah.
he's gonna kill the podcast, and then he has the revenue, and those people are still on the streets.
That's what I'm, yeah. So because
Oh,
and first, and
okay.
also, who's gonna control how, let's say they pay more. You know what he might say?
It's not enough.
Not only that, KR. Not only that, KR. That's,
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I cannot finance your salary with 100 times $2. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
but not only that, KR. Not only that. Listen, he said he is asking everyone to increase their Patreon by $2, right? $2, $3, which is a very relatively reasonable amount. If you have a lot of people putting that amount of money, it amounts to something. It can amount to something uh, reasonable, or at least impactful.
Mm.
Now, the problem is this, KR. He also said he's gonna increase the content. If you're gonna increase the content, that would mean more costs, because it costs to produce. If instead of two, you're gonna produce four, that would mean double. Well, not everything is double, because maybe you rent if you have your own studio, you're gonna pay double the rent, but double the time you pay the producers, double the time you pay the editors. So it's going to bring costs. If you just, it doesn't seem as though it's a calculation that took place. It's just like you put $2-3 and
Hail Mary.
it should do the job. And
Yeah.
I'm saying, to your point, that if he focuses on bettering the revenue model on the podcast will be able to carry itself. But I believe that the reason why he's choosing the Patreon route, because the Patreon route is more, it's easier. It's like, if I subscribe today, he's gonna get the money
Tomorrow,
today.
today and tomorrow.
Whereas if you start posting on the podcast, it's gonna take time before you can get your return on investment.
You have to pay someone to research who your customers are. That's gonna cost money.
It's gonna cost money. So
Maybe
it's
maybe you gotta ask yourself, all that time, all the money you've been receiving. This might sound harsh, and I don't want to beat the guy up. You gotta ask yourself: are you a real entrepreneur or are you just a comedian?
yeah.
Do
Well,
you
I
have
think
someone? Do you have someone who's running the business, or are you running the business? Because I do think that if you're spending all that money, if you're let's say you lose, so you could afford 3 people on the payroll based on the ad revenue you were getting from the advertisers,
Mhm.
I guess. And I'm talking about people who, I think that's advertisers that are advertising during the show, not the ones that are through YouTube. That's what I mean. All that money you could pay.
Affiliate marketing.
Yes, affiliate marketing. So you could pay 2 people. What you could have done is also pay someone to find out, to research your customers better, and also increase the ads, increase the product in startups. They call it product market fit. Your product fits the market. Who's your market? You don't know. Well, obviously, the people I mean, those companies who are buying ad slots, affiliate marketing, they 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 do research. They give you a code, and they run the code. The amount of time the ads are being ran during those shows, and then they ask ourselves: is the money we're paying worth the amount of business we get? That's how you research. That's how you run a business, not this way.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you, by the way, even though you weren't as
Clear as I want it to be.
clear as I wanted to be. The end was, I do agree on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was my fault. I assume responsibility.
You're
Understand
like
me?
Samantha Lee these days.
I I assume responsibility. No, but
Run
it's
your business better, guys. This
yeah.
is YouTube is a business. Don't
A
try to
bit,
run
yeah.
it.
It's a non-profit get, because he's basically asking for donations.
Donation. You know what? You know what?
Donations.
Why didn't I think about this before? I should have ran this right after I played the first clip. You know, this is why.
Right after you said begging. Oh
Oh
man.
man, but hey, good luck to Kev. It seems like Kev on stage might meet Kev Samuels.
No man, come on.
Well, okay, maybe Kev on stage podcast might meet Kevin
Yeah,
Samuels.
yeah, maybe.
End of maybe
I
an end
bet you
of
this though. I bet you this though. He's gonna the Calf on Stage podcast, if it ceases to exist, which of course is not gonna happen because it does the good numbers. It's just the financials isn't there.
if you
But
can, you know what?
I,
No
if I
one.
if I were Calf on Stage, I would try as much as possible to keep it up, because the last thing you want is to go compete against Kevin Samuel's podcast in the afterlife. He's he has a 2 year head start already, man. It's or a year, I don't know.
Oh my!
His
Put the
podcast is
numbers, let's
fire.
put the numbers next to each other. Is KevOnStage doing more alive than Kev Samuels in,
Kev Samuels is
in the afterlife?
no man. Kev Samuels is
Imagine that, right? Imagine the person who you clowned, who you clowned. No, not clown. Maybe I'm putting sauce on it. But you were
yeah, he clowned it.
he
Yeah.
clowned him. Okay, he clowned
He
him.
clowned it, yeah.
He clowned him. And now he's doing better numbers than
Yeah.
you are doing in life. And you can adjust your
Without begging.
without begging. He's doing it without begging from the afterlife. Hey, RIP to that podcast. That's
Yeah.
all I'll say.
All right. That Kerry, you want us to talk about Keith Lee as well?
Yeah, man. Let's talk about Keith, man. I think we talked about him before. I think it was last week or
Yeah,
the week
last week.
before.
Last week we did it, yeah.
We talk about him going to Atlanta and him running for his life.
Come on, man.
Atlanteans are out here trying to put a cap in.
For telling the truth.
Hey, yo, God bless Atlanta, man. You cannot lie. People expect you to lie.
Right?
Hey,
Yeah,
it's crazy, right? He's giving an honest. The man is giving an honest review. Your service is shitty. You guys are running businesses into the ground. Did you see the interview? I think you said it to me.
You said it to me, I think.
Oh, did I send it? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, but I should have.
The one where the lady says, well,
Yeah, I sent it to you. No,
you
so
said it to
they were on describe this. Can
Yeah.
I describe what you saw?
I'll try. So it starts with a lady, a pretty, um, well, yeah, a lady and a woman, and the woman, one of the ladies' points were, hospitality is very important that you be polite to, to people, and one of the ladies, other ladies sitting there was like, well, I'll be polite to you, but don't try me. So I'm paraphrasing, of course, because if you if you try me, and the other lady says the one that's let's say she's trying to make people conscious about how you in the hospitality industry still needs to stay polite and cordial.
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem that we that we face, because we need to learn how to communicate." And the other woman wasn't having it. She was
Wasn't
like,
happening.
like,
And, and,
if you come here and you want to speak to the manager, it's me.
and like F you. She was basically saying to, and I think that's also the attitude the employees basically take from their manager, right? Or
Yeah,
owner.
because it's top down oftentimes.
Down.
The
It's like,
owner put the pressure on the employee, the owner puts the pressure on the manager puts the pressure on the workers, and the workers project it
but they
on
also copy
yeah, because that's what you
the
see.
attitude. Yeah.
That's
And that's
what you
what they
see.
did at first. I think she was like a consultant in a sense, basically talking about how to improve your situation. Well, obviously, the female next to her didn't think about that the same way. And at the end, they were basically saying they are hiring willy nilly just to get revenue as soon as possible. Hey, it's
But
crazy, dude. It's crazy. But let's take a look at how they were. It is crazy. Think about it, right? Just imagine a consultant tells you how to run your business correctly, and then you turn around and say, you know what? You don't know nothing about how to run a business. You're running it, you're running the business into the ground. And then you turn around, look at the consultant saying, you know what? Shut up. Go home. I know how to do this.
oh man,
Hey, but let's take a look at Keith Lee's response to OchoCinco, because we talked about last week about OchoCinco, but Keith Lee responded to it.
Ocho,
Yeah.
I don't like. I don't.
Can you
I
hear
don't
it?
like. I don't like the critiquing of our restaurants and having people and talking bad about our goddamn businesses and
Ocho,
like, dude, you know how
Ocho.
hard. You know how hard it
And I
is
get it, Ocho.
for us to even
Ocho.
get in the food industry and to have our own restaurant and so. Like,
Ocho.
what are we doing?
Let's talk about it. First, I want to say God bless you, and I respect your opinion. Your opinion is just as valuable as the next person's opinion. But I do agree with you. It is hard to open a restaurant. It is hard to get the funding. It is hard to have people come in. I agree. And I'm blessed enough to
Think about it, right? It's hard to start a restaurant. It's hard to get people in it. And still you find a way to run your own business into the ground. Okay, people cannot help themselves to. Some people have no winning bone in their body.
Yeah.
You know who I'm referring to.
enough to be a marketing platform for those restaurants, completely free. To me, it seems like you have no idea who I am. And again, that's okay with me. The main point was my qualifications. I'll be honest with you. I've been a professional fighter for almost 10 years. I've traveled the
Did he just say he wants the smoke?
No, I didn't. Come on, man.
Okay.
Just kid trying to start something. Get out of here, man. Come on.
Hey, I've been to places, including Africa, Brazil, giving people smoke.
Hey,
all around the
didn't
world.
chat fight? Didn't have like a celebrity?
Let me,
Let's continue. Let's continue.
can you search it up?
Yeah, let's search it up. Yeah.
Search it up. And if Chet got KO'd, I'm telling you, Chet, stop
No.
while you're.
Well, you can do whatever you want.
But let's
but,
take
yeah.
a look. Let's take a look. I've been a professional fighter all my life.
qualifications. I'll be honest with you. I've been a professional fighter for almost 10 years. I've traveled the world eating food. I've cut weight from anywhere from 170 pounds to 135 pounds. And food is one of the most important things when it comes to cutting weight. So at the end of the day, I'm just a foodie. I agree with you. I've been blessed enough to be in this position. But then in return, I want to ask you, what are your qualifications to have this firm stance on this topic? Because to me, this seems like your first time ever seeing me. And if it's not, again, I have another question.
I know
Why
the
is this your first time speaking
qualification.
on me? We've been
I know the qualification. Why are you laughing already?
I'm looking at the fight, man.
How are you doing? Let me drop OchoCinco's qualification before you show the fight.
Yeah. I'm not gonna show the fight. Well, I can, yeah,
You can
okay.
describe what you see.
Yeah, continue. What are you gonna say?
OchoCinco's qualification, because Keith asks, what are your qualifications? OchoCinco's qualification is he's been playing NFL on a belly full of
McDonald's, yes. Oh man. Great guy, man. Great guy.
legend. He's a legend. He's been playing his whole NFL career on a McDonald's menu.
Great guy, man. That's
I hope, Chat, I hope you have, Chat, I hope you have some stocks. You bought some stocks during that time because you were doing free promotion. But describe what you saw in that fight.
well they say in boxing there is a saying, right? You
Which one?
can, and it was just to be clear, it was like an exhibition fight, so it wasn't like a real fight, but
Mm.
they did fight.
Exhibition will tell you a lot about the real fight.
Yeah. They say you can if you can train everything, but you can't train your chin.
Let's continue. Let's continue. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. I don't want to burn the OchoCinco bridge yet.
No, I don't even want to burn yet. I don't want to burn it at all, man. Come on, man. Anyway,
Hey, it's a joke, man. It's a joke.
let's continue.
Just like my chin.
Come on.
Let's
blessed
continue.
enough to raise over
Yeah.
$40,000 for a restaurant owner who has cancer. We've been blessed enough to be used as a vessel to retire a teacher in less than 24 hours. We've been blessed enough to be a part of keeping multiple restaurants doors open. And all of this within the span of 10 months.
I want to be very clear. That question isn't to say you or anybody else should know who I am. I simply ask, if this isn't your first time seeing me, what stopped you from talking about the positive things we've been able to do? Specifically to the community that you are worried about us negatively affecting.
And to your point, that's without any
Mm.
formal qualifications. And let's be honest,
Yeah.
I think the main reasons of why we're here is because I'm
I think it's clear what he's trying to say. And I think he said it in that last part.
Yeah, he did, and he did.
People like to highlight the negative always, but the guy has been helping a lot of business this last 10 months. And
But
that's
what do you want him to do if if you trust his reviews, is if his reviews have saved businesses, businesses who had good food but were unknown. They did so, and he never takes anything. He always pays for his food, just like everybody else. It's basically a free review for the places. Now, if you go to e- how can you expect him to go to a place, in this case Atlanta, and experience certain bad restaurants and tell you a lie? Because if he tells you that everything's well and dandy in Atlanta and you go there and you experience something else, it's going to create a distrust in him.
Mhm.
And he also had good things to say about some restaurants. So if you wanted a good review, doesn't matter where you are. I mean, if he's in Atlanta and he goes to a place and the service is good, the food is good, then he's gonna give you a good review. And if it's not, then it's gonna give you an average review, which he always says, go try it out for yourself because this was my experience.
He gives you. I gotta ask myself: did he review without knowing one of the restaurants of Chad? Where Chad is a
Also,
minority owner.
also,
Because Chad is out of nowhere, he's criticizing the guy.
but Chad also did the backpedal.
He backpedaled. I have a video of that. He backpedaled more than DB's backpedaled against him. Oh, that's a nice one.
What y'all doing today? Twin Peaks. Hey, they don't have no Twin Peaks in Cincinnati, man. They don't have no Twin Peaks in Cincinnati.
Be
Fair use, by the way. Mac TV. Fair use.
sure to like, comment.
Oh.
I really. What's my thoughts on everything? It depends on what you're talking about. I don't know if we're on the same page or not. Okay, you do know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Hey, baby. Hey, G. G, where you at? Ash? Baby, what's up, baby? Come get on my live. Hey, my daughter got me together. My daughter texted me, right? My daughter hit me like, listen, we team Keith Lee over here. I say, damn, baby. You doing your daddy like that? Well, you know what, but when your daughter gets you together, yeah, you ain't gonna win that.
His daughter stepped in.
Kicked his back in. Imagine your daughter kicking your back in. Over comment of someone else. Hey, man, it is what it is.
Yes,
He
right.
paddled back.
Yeah,
And
and that's also admirable because, as I always say, you're allowed to change your mind if if you receive different information, and he did. He
You
still
should.
has. Yeah, you
You
should.
should.
Don't need to do anything, man. Do whatever you want. But in this case,
Hang
he did.
yourself into the ground if you don't believe the new one.
But and I mean, that is admirable. Of course, we always need to stay. Yeah, you always need to be mindful that we don't know anything. So when people don't, when you express your thoughts and opinions, there's always a chance that you don't know everything, and that's okay as well. And stepping back doesn't mean that you need to be ashamed of it if you receive new information that shows you that your opinion wasn't really, or what you said wasn't really correct.
Keith Lee is not the only one who's out here giving opinions on food.
Who else is
Mario Lopez.
Mario? Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. Slater.
Slater, yeah.
Slater.
Slater.
Legend in the Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
But he is out here also reviewing food in Tijuana. And a lot of people didn't know he talks Spanish. But this is Fair use. This is him talking a bit about the food there.
Okay, we're at Mariscos, El Bigotón. Got my friend Funes right here. We got some classics. Ceviche de camarón con mayonesa. I like it with mayonnaise. This is basically a shrimp tostada. I like the salty, kind of sweet combo right there. Then we've got a cocktail de camarón right here. Ooh. Right, you get down on that? And then I got some Valentina. We got Porfis, but I like the guacamaya. So I get right there. You put that on tostadas too? I put that on tostadas too. All right, let me try let me get that. Oh, no, this is a good one right here, though. It might be a little too spicy for you. Always Modelo time. Funes don't drink. He's good. I'm not so disciplined. He remembers. Okay. Right, here we go. These are fire. Got salsa guacamaya. Not that spicy. That's good. But it got good flavor. It got a little kick, but good flavor.
Talks like George Lopez.
Hey, yo. People criticizing him for these reviews because
Why?
they are saying he's code switching. On
What's-
TV, he talks.
What does that mean? Oh, okay.
And he's talking in the live.
People should stop.
People are stupid. That's why RJ.
Yeah, and everything. Everything is.
Imagine trying to be rude all over the. It doesn't make any sense, right?
Keeping it real. All over. No.
If you keep it real, you keep it real stupid.
And real broke.
never say that. Real broke as well.
Yeah.
And so he went viral over this. He really went viral over this because people are saying, yeah, he's code switching. It's impossible. It's impossible that he's doing this. He had this to say about that.
All right, so all kinds of people just hit me up right now because
Share it.
Oh, cabrón. Huh?
Are you gonna share it?
Of course, I should share it. His accent a bit changed a little bit right away,
all right, so all kinds of people just hit me up right now because evidently I'm trending on Twitter, and I was like, why? What I do? I was trying to rack my brain, and apparently it's because people don't think I'm Mexican. Is that true? With a name like Mario Lopez.
Well, you're English.
Yeah, I'm English. Teddy over here thinks I'm British. But you know what? They've been thinking I'm everything from Italian to Hawaiian, but I'm not. That's the weirdest thing. I was born in Chula Vista, border town right there in Tijuana. My parents are from Culiacan, Sinaloa. And I think it's because I've been doing these food videos on.
Should we continue with this video or should we?
No, it's not worth it. That's not worth it.
Yeah, let's continue. Let's see till the end. And then this thing is he's already rapping.
Guess what?
He's naming states with real pew pew. Just so you know where he's from. He's from the ghetto. Not your ghetto. He's from the ghetto. Let's continue.
El barrio.
El barrio. Barrio.
Social with my homies, and it's a lot of Mexican food, a lot of mariscos. I love to eat. And, I'm saying food and homes and a lot of like slang and just kind of being yourself. And I can't be like that on Access Hollywood or my radio show. I'm trying to cash these checks. I can't be sounding all hood like that. I gotta keep it a little more polished and buttoned up. But my whole circle is even Mexicano. That's Turi. Turi don't look it with those little nana glasses, but he's Mexican. That's Cornejo from Tijuana. Hey, viva. But I think it's funny. Twitter, you wild out there. Gracias por todo. Nos vemos pronto. Mwah, besos.
Did he just do the Black Power fist? Hey, shout out to AC Slater, Mario Lopez. I don't understand people, dude. They want you to.
People are looking for things to be upset about. Come on. This guy. And if I didn't know, you know what's also. This is something that people oftentimes don't realize. When your accent and your way of speaking changes depending on where you are. It's going to change. And sometimes it happens automatically. Especially sometimes you have certain dialects. Someone can speak, let's say, the standard language, And then, but if he's from New York, for example, or he's from Texas, and he goes to Texas, that accent will flow. It just happens.
We've seen that with a lot of politicians. It will flow. It will flow.
So it's
I've seen AOC go from a New Yorican to a Texas.
Stop.
I will stop here. We have seen that video. We have all seen that video. Well, okay.
Because New York doesn't do anything, but Texas shoots. So watch what you say.
Well, New York cancels.
New York cancels. Yeah, right. That's
I
right.
don't know which one. Oh, by the way, talking about Texas.
Yeah.
Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You heard about the story? The guy that's is it Texas? Houston.
The kid.
Harris County. The kid
16.
is 19. He's 19.
19, okay. Oh, so he's okay. Yeah.
He's facing 99 years, man.
Yeah. For a prank. For clout.
Hey, double digit IQ and trying to go viral don't mix, man. They don't mix. So apparently this kid was basically recording, let's call it robbery videos, and trying to go viral off robbery videos.
Robbery videos.
Yeah, he was basically assaulting people.
Yeah, but that's not robbery.
Well, that's the first part. He was assaulting them, pulled out the blicky. He pulled out the blicky and tried to separate these people from their phones.
Finances. Or from their phones.
From their phones, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's why he's facing 99.
I was no, because I did see him smashing like what do you call when you don't hit someone and say like this, but it's like it says a haymaker, right?
Yeah, haymakers when you're kind of
so he was throwing haymakers.
Swinging big.
Yeah, so he was throwing haymakers while people
joggers.
Daytime joggers, people just walking just for exercise in a park, and he would just sneak up on them and throw haymakers. KR here at the back of the neck. That's a very dangerous place, man. Someone can get paralyzed. So I saw that, and the guy was recording. So he had someone recording it for fun. And
his friend Kingston.
Yeah, and and the sad thing about it is because I didn't even know about the blicky part. That he would pull out a firearm, but would he really steal it, or was it just would he give it back as a joke afterwards?
Lewis allegedly demanded the man's phone with a pew pew pointed at him and tried to come on, bro. Tried to and threatened him to
shoot him in the foot.
In the foot.
So he's like Walker, Texas Rangers. That's Chuck Norris. Never deletes, only hurts.
Well, Walker doesn't get caught up in these situations.
Walker is a Texas Ranger, so he has the right
to delete you off this earth. Now, but hey, this is, and by the way, his friend was also arrested. So imagine, so they were recording this thing. His friend was standing behind the camera, recording it and laughing with him. Now you're with him, about to do time. The question is, will he get a slap on the wrist or will he do 5 years? Just as an example. And then we've seen these cases, right? There was this guy, I don't know if you've seen, probably you've seen it. It went viral. The guy in England who basically walked into people's homes.
I didn't see that.
So the front door was a bit open in England, and the guy in the UK, the guy walked in the door, walked towards the stairs. There is a hallway, right? They walked in the hallway. At the end of the hallway, there was a stair going down. The wife started screaming like the guy's her husband's name. There's someone in the house. The guy walks up and tries to get him out of the room, the hallway, pushing him back. The guy turns around and goes into another room and sits down like nothing happened. It is crazy.
Just for cloud. And who was recording?
He was recording himself.
You can do that in the UK. Well, even in the UK, you need to watch out. You can do that. Well, you can do it in the UK. Don't do that in London. So that's what I would say.
Don't do that in Texas. This guy's lucky that he didn't get popped.
Popped? In UK, they
no,
shank
I'm talking about the guy in Texas.
Yeah, of course. Because you're already in a firearm carrying state.
Not long ago, there was this prankster who tried to prank the guy in the mall. Do you remember that one?
Remember.
And the guy turned around and put 2 in him.
I should have left. Sorry.
Well, everyone laughed because he deserved it. I'm sorry. He was harassing the guy.
According to the father of the victim, he didn't. Because it was just a prank.
It was just a prank. That's what you get. The guy was also pranking him. Papa, here's a prank for you. Papa, I could have put 4 in you, but here's a prank. Hold this.
Psych, didn't want to delete you.
Hold this one.
You thought I did, right? Yo, hey, last thing. Since we're talking about these stories, did you see the crazy story of the man in Panama?
Oh my God! Oh, that's a crazy one. I think
the man, it was an older man. He was, I believe,
7 years old. Ex-lawyer.
Was he ex-lawyer?
American lawyer.
Yeah, because he was born in Panama but lived in the US, I think. So, but I think he was born in Panama, and he was driving on the highway.
It was that was crazy.
He was driving on the highway. There were some protesters blocking the road. What were they protesting?
Mining. There was
mining.
Mining.
But they were environmentalists, right?
Yeah, something like that. I think
this world is crazy, man.
It's if you think about it, right?
The man decided.
Both of them, I think it's if you break down the story, it is crazy on both sides.
So you mean the protesters, the protesters, and the man?
Both sides is crazy. If you think about it, just think about this, right?
But let's finish the story first, because
which one?
We know the story, but not everyone knows the story. So that's just the last part. So when the man steps out his car, he walks towards the crowd, starts throwing flags and kicking things. All the roadblocks, small things that they placed.
Trying to remove the stuff.
Remove them. And when people started trying to stop him, he pulled out his weapon and popped 2. One of them, I think, injured, and the other one, did someone pass away? It seems as though one of them was laying there like.
The first one, definitely. I saw the video. The first one definitely got laid out.
Yeah.
I think both of them. He popped both. Both of them are done.
But the crazy thing, and you were saying the crazy thing.
The crazy thing is, just imagine, right? You're driving home. You see people standing. First of all, this was waiting a problem waiting to happen, because people have been doing this more and more. These environmentalists, these protesters, they have been blocking roads more and more. What you see is that people gradually are getting irritated about the situation. There are some examples where people were being removed. The bus was trying to drive through people, not on a high speed, but they were trying to stand in front of the bus and hold it back. I don't know
What they were thinking. I mean,
what they're thinking, but they try to hold it back.
yeah,
And if you try to
yeah,
do that, you're
crazy.
putting your so this is the part which I think is crazy. You're trying to put your life at risk. You gotta ask yourself,
Is it
are
worth
you,
it, Johnny?
is it worth it? Is the girl you're trying to impress worth it? Because a lot of times I have a feeling these
The same.
guys who are these guys who are in this stuff, I'm not sure if they are fully invested or they're trying to impress a girl. I've seen another one. I will send you the video offline. I'm not gonna show it here. I'm clearly I think the guy was simping. But is it worth it? First of all. So that part is already you're putting your own life at risk. The second part is the guy, the 77-year-old. Imagine you're driving home, you see someone protesting. You jump out of your car and think, you know what? If these guys don't scatter, they're not scared of me, ma pull my blicky out.
Uh, and do the Lord's work.
Dude, the Lord, what the heck are you thinking, dude?
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
he's tired of life. Maybe he's tired of life.
but I don't think tired of life. And KR, I really need to run. So let's just. This is gonna be my last comment. I don't know if you want to say something more, but I don't think it's. I think we are being fed so. I mean, continuously. It's all. Everything is drama. Everything is shocking. Everything, and at some point, you just get tired of it. So can you imagine that guy perhaps had a long day
Long day.
and or whatever, and then you go and you just want to go home, or you need to go visit someone, whatever the case may be, and you encounter that for such a reason, and you're blocking the whole. Yeah, I bet the road opened afterwards though. So
I
it's
think it's time to finish this. Time to finish this up. Time to finish this up. It's time to finish this up.
it's
Let's
not
cut
it's
it
not
here,
funny.
guys.
So, but anyways,
Let's cut it here because otherwise we
it's
might
gonna
make
go.
this be the last
Yeah.
episode for Double
No,
Touch.
no. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Whatever your thoughts are,
Please don't share it in the comments. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
let us know in the comment section down below. Rate the show by pressing the like button. We want to remind you to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hit the notification bell and share the video with your friends, family, and your enemies. Don't forget to check out our sports channel, X Game Plan. That's where we talk about sports related trending topics. Yeah, with that being said, it's been a pleasure to serve you once more. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember to let us know your thoughts on the topics we discussed. Until next time, peace.
Don't be popping protesters. Please, people. Stop it. Stop it. Crazy people.